Greetings and blessings, butterflies. Welcome back. I'm Themis D'Amour, and I'm here with your What You Need to Know reading for the air signs. So if you have Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius in your birth chart in any placement, this reading may be for you. We're going to jump right on into these cards. I've already pre-shuffled and meditated over the cards off screen. I'm going to do a light shuffle on screen, cut them, lay them out, and give us all the messages the way the Spirit sees fit. I'm going to try to keep this message as relatively short as I possibly can. All right, let's jump right into this reading, my beautiful butterflies. I'm going to get some clarifying energies. It might be some divine intervention that may make something turn around in a situation. All right, my collective. First, we have the Hierophant. That's being clarified by Salty, which is bitter, angry, and petty. We also have the Four of Pentacles, and that's being clarified by Love Affair, which is a dirty little secret, sex fix, or down low. Then we have the Three of Cups being clarified by Twin Flame, Friendship, Romantic Partner. After that, we have the Knight of Swords, and it's being clarified by Drowning, Over Your Head, Overextended, and Rock Bottom. Then we have Temperance in reverse, and it's being clarified by Wishful Thinking, which is Second Chance, Deja Vu, and Nostalgia. Now, my collective, first let's start out with this Hierophant energy. The Hierophant is that energy of tradition. That's the energy of institutions, rules, society. That's that energy, of getting things done. Paperwork. It's that energy, of higher learning. That's that energy, of expectation. So with this energy can sometimes be about, having that external pressure on you. This could be about, family expectations. This could be about you going through some type of societal norms or something like that. And with it being clarified by this bitter and salty energy, this is the energy of frustration, or some type of anger or resentment that exists in a situation. So my air signs, you may feel like you're being trapped by some type of rules or regulations or something, expectations. This could be about authority figures, or you may be emotionally reacting to something based off of your irritation or your discontent with being involved in the situation. And Spirit is highlighting this energy because this is your current energy. Spirit is highlighting this energy because it wants you to acknowledge your resentment so it doesn't, end up clouding your judgment. Now, in the energy that you have that's working for you that you may not be aware of, we have that Four of Pentacles energy. And the Four of Pentacles energy is that energy about holding on, hoarding stuff. This is that energy of being in control, having those boundaries and protecting, your resources. This could be your resources about your finances, or this could be your resources, your time, your energy, how you show up. This could be your craft, anything of that nature. And it's being clarified by this Love Affair energy. So there may be some type of hidden, attraction or intimacy that may be going on around you that can be discreet. There may be, it could be a down low connection, it could be, it could be secret support, with this Pentacle energy. But something about it feels, is giving that energy of it being taboo or unconventional, or, like it's actually working in your favor. Whatever this relationship is, whatever this connection is, it's in the energy of, what's working for you that you may not realize. Because at the core of the problem, the core situation that we have right here is that Three of Cups energy. And we know Three of Cups, that's all about, friendship. That's that celebration energy. That's that energy, of connecting with others. And then it's being clarified with, the energy of soulmate. Another card of connection, another card of, friendship and celebration, that type of thing with this energy. So this energy is speaking about, the confusion. There may be a confusion on, because this is like more like just friendly, as you can see, everybody, just this is like casual, being out there drinking, enjoying each other. This is like kind of casual. But even though these both cards are, cards of connection, this connection here looks a little bit more intimate. So the core problem, or what could be, causing confusion in a situation, could be, energies of, what's more important to you, friendships, or a one-on-one connection. It could be that. This could be you being confused about whether or not, a situation you're dealing with is more friendship or is it romantic. This could be about, having some type of emotional entanglements. This could be about, relationships that have deep karmic ties. This could be about any type of relationship that has some type of deep karmic ties with the soulmate energy being here. It doesn't have to be romantic. Now, in the obstacle or blockage, we have that King of Swords energy. The Knight of Swords energy, I'm sorry. The Knight of Swords energy, that's that energy of being, fierce. That's that energy of being, determined. That's that fast forward energy, that impulsive energy, and with this energy, the way it's showing up in this card, with him having a bullhorn in his hand, he might be, overly mentally, overly stimulated. He may be ready to, speak up and say something, because we have this energy of drowning and being over your head, clarifying this energy. So this could be, as I stated, this could be about mental overwhelm. This could be about, taking on too much. This could be like feeling like you're barely keeping afloat, like you're risking, burning out or something like that. Feeling like you need to speak up, you need to do something about something so you don't hit that rock bottom energy. Because my air signs, you may be, and this is air sign type of energy with this sword energy. You may be in over your head, you may be overthinking, you may be overcommitting, you may be rushing to decisions with this, Knight of Swords energy. But Spirit is asking you to, with this energy to slow down, to be mindful of it, because it's an obstacle or blockage for you, to make sure you get to that quiet place and, get to places where you can check in with your breath work, where you can, get out all the noise out of your ears so where you can hear things and gain that necessary clarity that you need so you can move forward to the next leg of this race or the next path of this journey, however you want to see it. Because in the final outcome energy that Spirit wants you to focus on for the best possible outcome, we have that energy of temperance, and that energy showed up for us in reverse. And so there's an imbalance, because temperance is all about balancing, being patient, the integration. So that with this energy, showing up in reverse, this is about something being impatient, something, being wrapped around impatience or imbalance, something not coming together the way it should. This energy could be about something, being at the extreme. And it's being clarified by this energy of wishful thinking, this deja vu energy, this second chance, this energy, of nostalgia. So you may be reflecting on some past mistakes with this type of energy. You may be desiring to redo or relive, something that, you feel like an ending came to. Or there may be an emotional longing here. But with this energy being in the final outcome, I'm feeling like Spirit is saying that you are being guided to recognize those past patterns, what keeps showing up for you. Acknowledge, that nostalgia. And, find that balance in between those things. Because even if it feels like a second chance or a deja vu moment, there are lessons, there are things there for you to learn in this experience. So Spirit asks you to not chase any illusions, at this time, but to, learn how to integrate the lessons that you have learned on this journey before you act on the next step. When we put all this energy together, I feel like, what's bringing the metamorphosis for you, my air signs, is that you are learning how to navigate those external pressures that may be going on outside of you, and those expectations that may be coming from others with this, hierarchy energy, and this salty energy. That's all about, learning from expectations. With this, this energy of this Four of Pentacles, and something being unconventional, something being, something that may have to be held inside and be a secret, but it's supportive of you, it's supporting you. Spirit wants you to look at that energy. Don't overlook it, because this support is here for a reason. This energy, of these emotional entanglements that you may be going through with these Three of Cups, versus their soulmate energy, that relationship confusion, and that energy is at the core of, whatever problem or situation that's going on with you. So any energies of that overwhelmed, impulsive thinking that you're having, the guidance here is to slow down, to observe the signs, to take those lessons from the past and integrate them, with that temperance energy, and to make those balanced decisions before you do anything else. My air sign, your future is dependent. It favors, I'd rather use that word. It favors clarity over impulse. It favors discernment over desire. And it supports self-trust over others' expectations. I hope you all have appreciated these messages. If you have, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm probably going to have to chop this message up into 2 parts. So I appreciate you all for being here. Until next time.